What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Sag. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Really just went for it there, Sag. It's getting just more fun by the minute. But with this weekly spread, whenever you have to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Oh, my bad, girl. Your space has been cleansed. It's Rhonda over here. Say hey, Rhonda. Crystals. Feeling lovely. Alright, that's enough of that. just great energy all around here, Sag. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies, people, as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case of y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Sag. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I like watching. Very intuitive group, really just great energies that they bring, so hopefully you'll like them as well. Now let's get to your first card here. Interesting, I actually just got them doing their reading, because you got the 7th card of Pisces here, which is the baggage card. And with this card, this is a card of excess, unresolved issues, held together, preparedness, pack rat, fearing separation, heavy burdens, responsibility, necessities, prepared to go, next phase, and long journey. Interesting. So the energies that's coming through here, Sag, is the necessities. And I feel like that there's this energy that maybe for some we might be moving, possibly, and we might be thinking about, like what is, it's like we may be kind of sorting through like what can we take with us and what we're going to need to either get rid of, like, and maybe there might be for some that I almost feel like that if we're in this place where we may be weighing this option, it doesn't, for some it doesn't quite feel like it's a like a voluntary thing, like we want to leave this stuff behind. Like maybe something happened where, I don't know, maybe something where a new or a lease didn't get renewed, or maybe even just circumstances just in general here, Sag, that hold on, I'm gonna pause for 1 second, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, definite sneeze. But it's like either we had like where a situation came up, we need to just like suddenly move, but it's like now we're at this place where it's like we have all this stuff that we want to bring, but we know we can't bring it all with us, and there feels like there's a struggle to maybe let go of some things, and maybe we have, I don't know, it's like a lot of maybe sentimental value attached to this stuff, and where I can appreciate things like that, Sag, like the sentimentals and stuff, I feel like it's like if we're having this struggle as far as that, I feel like there may be something a little bit deeper that maybe for some that may be going down with this thing, and it could be again that it's like from sentimentality, but I almost feel like maybe for some this could be even like where someone was just telling me about it was like this, what did they call it, like a breakup box, where it's like they keep all of the stuff from like exes and things, like little, like maybe like a t-shirt or just like random gifts as a reminder of what they went through in the past or something along like that. And I feel like that there may be for some there maybe need to let that, like let, if that's an instance, because where I do understand that, but it's in a sense we're still kind of bringing along the past in a way, and now it's like literally kind of manifested into this like this baggage here. So I feel like it's just check your relationships with stuff for some Sagittarius. It's very, very interesting that's coming through here, but I even almost feel that even just on that sense of baggage, there could be some things, maybe some emotional stuff that we may be bringing along with us as well, just in general. And it's just like, is this is this really in the like how we're going about it, is this really adding value to my life, or is it weighing me down? You know, like is this, it's because it may have been a necessity in that moment to really kind of process. Because I'm not saying we're not feeling stuff, Sag, and we're just like getting over things, but it's just like it's feeling it to heal it. But it's just like, did we, now that we've healed or that we've started to heal from this stuff, it's like how do we kind of let go of those these things that might be holding on to? Is very interesting here, Sag. But I am getting for like one more thing, and then we're gonna get to the tarot, that if we are moving, or if we're, it feels like that this, if we're getting like a really big kind of game plan, whether this a move, physical like location, or maybe we're thinking about a job, or even a relationship. It's like, it's just like, do we have all the tools that we need, all the necessities, like the very interesting, Sag. But let's get some tarot on this, get some details. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, so you have the Five of Swords and the Seven of Wands in reverse, and then you have the Five of Coins and then the Knight of Wands upright. And I almost feel like for some, with this Five of Coins here, it almost feels like that there's a sense of like kind of like melancholy here. So, and the Five of Coins is a kind of, it can be a sense a card of like poverty and things, but it feels like that there is this sense of this state of like, for some it's like this ability of lack or something like that. Like it's almost like we're having troubles maybe parting ways with something, or just taking the, just like I'm probably going to get a little bit more on that Five of Coins, but it does seem like that there's this energy of it's like we may be carrying a lot with us, Sagittarius, and but just with the Knight of Wands being here, it still feels like that we're doing that kind of like, you know, that Sagittarius thing where you kind of keep that energy going, keep that optimism, that energy flowing, even when there's still, you know, maybe there's some, it's like maybe there were some conversations that happened with some people, that maybe there were some criticisms that were exchanged. I'm not, it's very interesting here, but it's just like we've had to maybe make some decisions where it's like maybe it's, I'm even getting like a, almost like we're in like a lone, like almost like going on like a lone wolf type of thing, or maybe been feeling a little. Let me get a little bit more on this Five of Coins before we get more into that, Sag. Let's see what's going down here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so the Five of Coins is clarified by the Queen of Wands in reverse, and then we have the Hermit and the High Priestess upright. And that's because I feel something kind of emotional here, Sagittarius, with the High Priestess. And I only bring that up because the High Priestess is represented by the Moon, and the Moon can deal with our emotions, of our subconscious things that we kind of keep more private. And I do feel like it's like we've been in the state where it's like we've been keeping stuff maybe kind of bottled inside or something along those lines. But it's like with the Queen of Wands, it feels like that it's kind of, it just feels like that if we keep going at this pace where it's just like if we keep be keeping things bottled in, that it's going to just affect the pace of your journey. I feel like it's one more with her. Yeah, it's okay. So Queen of Wands clarified by the Ten of Coins and in reverse, and it feels like that this is going to. There's something we need to get some eyes on here, Sagittarius, as far as like what things that we may be kind of holding with us, and what things that we really are really necessary for our growth here, or maybe even for this move or something like that. But and I'm kind of getting for some others too. If this because this Queen of Wands is almost giving me kind of like a knee jerk sort of reaction, and it feels like that there's this energy of making sure that we reflect and or just like really kind of sit down before we make any sort of moves here, Sagittarius, as far as like because I feel like with the Five of Swords, like maybe for some it's like we want to be free of maybe like a certain friend group that we might have been around, or maybe like a work situation, maybe something familial, maybe there was some kind of criticisms here or something along those lines. Some things were maybe said, but now it's like we're in this state of we're in reactive mode essentially is what's going down, and we just want to be mindful of that and paying attention how that's because that type of stuff where and it's not that I feel like it's going to take away from your abundance, but it just I feel like it makes because what is meant for you is going to get to you, Sagittarius, but it's just like going about it this way may adjust the pace at which of how this journey will go. All right, Sagittarius, I think I'm gonna leave that there. That's yeah, very interesting energy. It's just something to be mindful of there. Let's get some tea and let's get a little bit more on this. Thank you. Okay, so just see what else we got here. Interesting. You got a lot of water energy here going down. You got the first card of Cancers, which is the Pearl card. And with this card, this is a card of emotional force, opening up, experiential wisdom, honesty, intuition, perception, loyalty, the moon, like you get in the High Priestess, subconscious mind, hidden things, diving deeper, layers, and developing character. Interesting, Sag. So the energies that are coming through here is the opening up and the hidden things. And that's what I was talking about with the moon earlier. It feels that, or with the High Priestess. Let me look, because Pisces is represented by the moon in the major arcana. But with the High Priestess, I do feel like that there may be certain things that... It's like for some, I almost feel like that it's like we're operating behind the scenes. It's like it's not necessarily that we're being sneaky or anything, but it's just more so that it just seems like there's a lot of maybe some planning that's going down on the mix, and it's just it doesn't feel fully cooked yet with the Ten of Coins here. It's like we have this idea. It's because Queen of Wands, she's the type that she definitely figures things out as she goes. Just kind of a and where listen, I'm a big fan of definitely because I say it all the time. I'll get it figured out. Figured out as I go. But where there does feel like there's this need of being some kind of structure here, and I feel like maybe if we were to not even necessarily open up to others, but really kind of more so open up to ourselves and figure out why we may be. Or maybe this could be more so about maybe opening up to like others as well, or like opening up as far as like sharing like why we may be making these moves possibly, and maybe there might be something that we're afraid that people may criticize this thing, but I feel that there could be some understanding and some support if we just kind of make this make this thing known here, But with the hidden things too, this almost feels like maybe for some that there may be this like this instinct or something that maybe when things get a little tough or something like that, that we tend to just, and this could be, just thinking with cancer, cancer's tied with the home space, and it necessarily doesn't have to be from home, but it's just like something that maybe that was learned early on, that if we ever get into state of, not feeling secure, not feeling state, that we just sort of just bounce or something like that, Sagittarius. And I know it's not gonna resonate for everyone, but or if we're not like physically leaving, maybe we're the type that just kind of like clams up and just like kind of, it's like, okay, well, fine, just like complete shutdown. Hmm. There's we got to be mindful of that, Sagittarius, especially if we're not dealing with some things. I'm always, talking about Cancer. My sun sign's in Cancer, and it is something where we don't want to ignore these feelings that may be coming up. It's one thing, because then that's how emotions come to rule you. It's when we don't deal with them because we're not familiar with how they can pop up. Because when you think about the moon and emotions and things, why we feel so much is that the moon is doing a lot. She's busy, always going through different signs at different phases. Every day it's a lot, and if we're not from don't get accustomed to these things, it's just it gets in a weird place there, Sag. So let's get some tarot on this. And I like that the High Priestess, this one, is just like kind of sitting there, kind of under the moon. Like, it's like she's learning about herself, these feelings, and kind of understanding the. Yeah, I'm not sure, like opening up to the idea of why we may operate in a certain way that we do. Thank you. Let's see what else we got going on here, Sag. All right, so you have the Two of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Devil in reverse. And then we have the Star card and then the Hierophant upright. And that's interesting. Because I feel with this energy for some, this is how we were talking about connecting with, as far as like why we operate or maybe do some things, or like do have like these habitual things that we might do, like reactive things. It feels that there is a lesson that's trying to come from this. Like there's some wisdom that's trying to get attained from tapping into these more intuitive side of ourselves, or not intuitive. Well, I mean always Sag, but more so this tapping into this more to these hidden sides of us, or something along those lines. Because you just got divine counterparts here, the High Priestess and the Hierophant, and I feel there is this need of, it's like discovering this stuff about yourself, making that kind of that connection with, like, just kind of like how she's looking up to the divine, looking to the stars. It's like connecting with the divine here, and figuring out how we can heal from this, like whatever thing that might be. Because this could be, again, this maybe our parents maybe criticized us in the past for some stuff, and we just got into this. I'm not sure. Maybe even friends, but there's something that's trying to get healed, and with the Devil being in reverse, it's like we have eyes on it, but I still feel with the Two of Wands being in reverse here, it's just like, even though we've kind of understand, like, to an extent, the idea of things, there's still not that action that's being placed. It's almost like we've just kind of settled it on, well, that's just kind of who I am, and that's just, so be it, and it's where, I'm not saying you need to not be yourself, but it's just like, is that really who you are? Is that really, I feel like it's opening up to more than that, because you are more than just one thing, like, and to let, it's like almost like letting that one thing define you. It's keeping you in this. I wish. Let me get some more on the Hierophant. And even just as I was thinking that, just about to say I'm going to get some clarification, but with this, just even saying that about the star card, as far as like, the wish, the star can be a wish as well. And it's like some of us, it's like maybe we don't wish that we wish that we didn't operate this way, or let me get some more. Let me get a little more on this. Sorry, Sag, we're looking. There's Pisces. Alright, so you have lunar, all these lunar shenanigans. So you have the moon in reverse here, and then you have the Eight of Swords, and then the Page of Cups upright. And it does feel like that with the Eight of Swords here. It's like we are kind of in our head, maybe in our heads about something, that there's... And this is not medical advice or anything, but if this is something that has been bothering us for a while, we can't seem to quite get a source, and maybe we don't feel comfortable talking with friends, family like that, maybe going to a therapist or something along those lines, or maybe finding like even like a teacher or something to talk with about these things, or learning how to just like different But I do like, though, Sag, that the moon is Pisces. But with the moon being in reverse, is that it's like I feel we know that we can get over these things like deep down, but it's just like do we feel like putting the energy towards that thing? Because when we're working towards that like shadow work and things like that, it is hard. There's a lot of work, and it's emotion. It can drain you emotionally, and challenge your mental, and it's a lot. And where though it is a lot, it's more so when we carry it on like that, then it's just just piles and piles and piles, where it's like if we start working on these steps, it's like I don't know, like it's just the flow would change, or just like things would just become a little bit lighter, I feel. But And there is this connect. I don't know, Sag. There is this connection with you and the moon that I'm kind of getting right now. That there's maybe for some, like if you get a chance, we're getting ready to have that full. Well, I know. Well, no, the full moon would have just passed, but hopefully, I don't know. Maybe if we've been looking at the moon, and maybe we've been sending up some thoughts. Hmm. Very interesting, Sagittarius. But let's get your. I think I'm gonna move on from that. But let's get your last card. Interesting. I had a feeling that might happen. So one, you got all in your oracle cards here, and this has been happening like at least once or twice a week here, where it's like we'll have like either like all the water signs come through, either in oracles or in like major arcanas, but you got Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces here. And when you're getting into that water energy, that is dealing with like there's emotions that are that's getting into that intuitive space. And I do feel that there is something that we're maybe not dealing with, or that there's it's like if we get that emotional understanding, then it's like it's making that head and heart connection. It's like something, it's like logically we get, but it's just like, or maybe not, but let's talk about this, because you got the ninth card of Scorpios, which is the Phoenix card. And with this card, this is a card of transformation, eternal soul, renew, resurrection, rebirth, destroy, rising from ashes. I'll tell you what's going on in a second. Emerge, new era, alchemy, transmutation, ascension, and the end is just the beginning. The energy that's coming through here is this transformation, Sagittarius, and that even got me a little choked up for some reason. That's I feel like maybe for some there's this energy of we're maybe going through, there's a change that's wanting to happen, but it's been one that we've been kind of fighting for a while. It's like we know this thing, or it's like we, or maybe it's like we know what this thing is, but it's just like we'll get a little bit ahead and it's like 2 steps forward and like 10 steps back, or very kind of cyclical type of energy. Because it's like it's interesting that we're talking about this, but you got, it's like, and I kind of feel like with the devil being here, because the devil has a very unorthodox way of, and wow, and just talking, wow, I'm sorry that took me a second to realize even that, Sag, you got all the earth signs here, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. So there is this, but let's talk about the devil first, because the devil has very unorthodox ways of teaching us growth. You know, it's like we'll think we're over something, and then a different scenario will pop up, and then it's just like, how do you handle that now? It's just like, have we really grown from this thing? Or the devil reminds us like where areas still could use some, where the foundation's still a little rocky, and just thinking too how you got all the earth signs as well. That's dealing with like your manifestation, your you can deal with your health. It can deal. Earth energy is very interesting. It's like it's getting that in touch with, because maybe for some there's, this is fascinating. I'm really getting a heavy sense of just like, really trying to get yourself grounded right now, whether this is getting in touch with nature, pay attention to like your day-to-day routines, where our foundation in life, whether this be physically, material wise, so you got 5 of coins here, emotionally, spiritually, seeing where that security is at, and just like what things do we need to work on, what is because this could be Sunday. So even think with that necessities, and this is kind of a weird way of thinking about it. It's like we're making everything else a priority, other than like what we need to work on. Like other than what is really necessary. Like these maybe emotions that we may be dealing with, or some of these maybe. Let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. Fascinating, but something here is changing. This. Or something's either is wanting to change. Alright, last little bit here, Sag. Okay, so you have the, interesting, all these aces. So you have the Justice card and the 7 of Cups in reverse. And then you have the 4 of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and then the Ace of Coins upright. And then let's switch back over. Because what I'm really feeling with this Sagittarius is that there is... It feels like that there is something that's kind of out of balance right now. There's something, and it's paying attention to how the actions that we take. It's paying attention how that stuff is accumulating, because I feel like that maybe for some when we were talking about that reactive energy earlier, it's like we may be making a lot of moves right now, and it might be more kind of emotionally driven, and that's. And I feel like it's really in an effort to bring more kind of joy and things back in your life with the Page of Wands being here. But or maybe that's something. It's like, yeah, we may be kind of like focusing on the kind of like the more kind of fun aspects of things, as opposed to where we really need to invest this. Because, that's interesting there, Sag, that you got all how we talk about the water signs and the earth signs here, and how the areas that we may need to focus on. Ace of Cups are like my seed cards, the potential. And Ace of Cups, water energy. Ace of Coins, earth energy. So it's like yeah, there's this need to really see how maybe like these. Because listen, again, I'm a Cancer, so it's like I'm all for emotions and understanding it. But it's like, it's one thing to just feel a lot, but it's another to understand the stuff. Because even thinking too, the Four of Cups. This is the moon in the moon in Cancer, and there, that kind of energy. I feel like if we try to keep these like water energy kind of locked up and blocked up in an area, that foundation gets kind of weird. Like after a while, it's water's meant to be kind of free flowing here, and I feel like that it's just like some we've I don't know. It's like we've stagnated in some sense, or just like the focus has been just kind of geared towards here as opposed to what's right behind you here. Light growth. New. It's almost giving me a sense of like focusing on the. It's like focusing on like what's not real or what's not, again, not a necessity or. Because the thing too with the Seven of Cups, and I mean we already got the Devil here, but the Seven of Cups is like my prelude to a Devil moment. So, and it doesn't just have to deal with just like the drug, sex, alcohol, gambling type of thing. It's Devils covers a very broad scope of things. So, just anything that we may have been struggling with, I feel like there's just paying attention how we may be investing in this journey in ourselves, Sagittarius, and maybe even in some others as well. But I think I'm gonna move away from that. But yeah, I hope that made sense. That was a interesting energy you brought here today. But if anything resonated with you, hope you found little nuggets of wisdom in there. Hope you found an ace, a coin or two. Hit that thumbs up button. And share this. If you know someone who's been maybe in like a tough spot as far as like maybe things have been changing a lot and we haven't had a chance to really kind of open up and process this thing or whatever this might be looking like, Sagittarius, definitely share this and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell button, get notified of these videos each week. And then I'm on this meditation app, Insight Time, maybe a little something to help you go deal with getting your hermit energy. But I started a group on there called Zodiac's Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to post positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And then as it grows, I'm going to start posting different healing music and guided affirmations, meditations, things along those lines. And I can name different things called like, going within with the hermit or I don't know what we're going to do with the Hierophant. Going void, of course, with the High Priestess there. I thought about your wifey, at least. I don't know, getting over stuff. I got to figure out the Devil's. I'm working on this stuff there, Sag. But definitely check that out. And then, lastly, speaking of the High Priestess, look at you talking all this Cancer energy. If you got any Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We absolutely discuss lunar shenanigans. You'll get to meet Rhonda. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. And so you have the Seven of Swords here, Sag. Let me get your Oracle card in a second, but I do feel that there is, with the Seven of Swords being here, there's this. There's this energy I feel like of learning more about. Interesting. Just kind of seeing how you got this shadow figure in the back here, kind of looking at this wolf. It's like almost like discovering like a shadow side of ourselves. There's, for some, there feels like there's some things that we may not be aware of, or even some things that we might be telling ourselves that like we are one thing when it's just like, well, you don't have to. Let's say if you're the type, for example, let's say you have like commitment issues, and it's just like, well, it's like, do we just want that to continue to be a thing, or do we take what we've learned about ourselves and then apply learn a new skill to how to deal with that stuff? How do we go about tackling this thing as opposed to just like letting it just be, Let me get your Oracle card. Oh, look at you, Sag. You get two today. I love when that happens. Okay, interesting. So you have the Poppet card in reverse, and then you have the Banish card. And Banish card upright. And I feel like with the Poppet card being here, I don't know, there's like this energy of having, it's like we're taking, I don't know, these, and not that these aren't necessary, but it just feels like that there's like little extra things that we may be kind of carrying along with us, that whether this be emotional baggage or physical stuff, whatever that's looking like, but there's something here that is, I feel like it's just like extra things that we're, that it's like, it seems like there, it feels like it's, the energies are asking for like a decluttering in a sense, you know, however that may be looking like, and maybe even for some, you know, we may be like, as far as like banishing, like, because that seems pretty intense, but more so like, it's like those things that lower our vibration, you know, that are hindering the change and things. It's like it's it's cutting ties with that, so that the, so I don't know, so that you can really be free and really kind of rise from the ashes like the mighty phoenix that you are. But I like that there's, you're burning this little letter here, and that might be something too. Maybe it's like, maybe we need some sort of if we're having troubles moving on from things, maybe for example, maybe some sort of like symbolism may help. You know, where it's like, you know, we could do where we maybe write this person. Let's say for example, this is like a relationship. We write a person a letter and then burn it. You know, just like have that energy like, this is me letting go, forgiving this, blah blah blah, and then just sending it love and light. Something, that's just one example, but. Very interesting energy there, Sagittarius. So definitely pay attention to, yeah, pay attention to that. But all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there, dealing with all this stuff here, because this was an interesting energy that you brought me. It's very fascinating. You raise your vibration through the roof. You know, if we need to do some self care, maybe go on, maybe take yourself a trip. You know, whatever that's looking like. You know, just maybe kind of get away for a moment, kind of collect yourself, go within, find out what's going on here. Something, Sagittarius. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.